We've been trying over the past years to put in place mechanisms to ensure that as we go along, our areas of weaknesses are completely staffed, if I should use that word. One of the areas when we started the new fund, when we said we have to be involved from the time we hear of a crash until the time that people are out of the system. So we try to cover all the steps of the continuum, starting with when a crash happens. In the past, we'll just wait for people to come and claim. That's it. Sit in our offices, people come with their crutches here, whether they were treated or not, where they went, we'll just wait for them to fill in a claim. We said, no. We have to get in touch with people from the moment that a crash happens. And that's when we said, okay, let's look at paramedic. That's the first point. When you are injured, a crash happens, you need paramedics. What is the paramedic situation in this country? And there was almost nothing at the time when we started. We started awarding bursaries, sending students to South Africa, and we realized South Africa could not keep up with our requirements. They would only take, they have a quota system. I think they take mostly first South Africans, and then there's a small quota for the rest of the world. So in a given year, we would fund about 2 or 3 students. And we said, no, we have to turn around things. So we approached Polytechnic, and we said, how about having a department or a faculty, whatever you call it, where we can train paramedics in Namibia, because we didn't have such a facility. Polytechnic was receptive to the idea, and we started the emergency care department. And that department takes about 25 students per year. I don't know about now. When we started, it was 25 students per year. We funded the instructor, we funded the setup, we co-funded the feasibility studies where instructors would come from South Africa and teach the Namibian team. And on an annual basis, they take 25, could be more now, but the gives 10 bursary per annum, also that goes into that facility.
Do you absorb them after they graduate?
The first choice is really for us to absorb them, but we only have a call center where the paramedics can work. And once the call center is fully staffed, then we actually second them to the Ministry of Health. Otherwise, some would go to the industry, the EMEDs, and then they are employed by the EMEDs and them. So to date, we've spent about 6.6 million in that Polytechnic project, including bursaries. Namibia does not have a rehabilitation center at all. Mm-hmm. And this one is a specialized one. It actually looks at spinal cord injuries. So when you suffer spinal cord injury, you go through that center where you are being rehabilitated. It doesn't only cover people who are injured in motor vehicle crashes. It's a partnership with the Ministry of Health and then with the Swedish Foundation as well. And it covers all the injuries. And to date, we've rehabilitated 88 patients since we opened in September 2013. These are the areas that excite us, because we believe that in future, if we cover these areas, and they are covered very well, the need to transfer patients to South Africa for rehabilitation won't be there. People get that initial care at the scene, appropriate initial care at the scene. Mm-hmm. Then you minimize the extent at which their injuries get worse. So that's why we do all these projects that everybody's wondering, what are you doing in paramedics? What are you doing in rehabilitation? It's really staffing the areas that we think are potential weakness areas for us to get the results that we want in terms of outcomes, better patient outcomes, rehabilitating people, returning them back to society. It's really covering every step of the continuum. It is a well-known phenomenon that Namibia does not have specialists. If you look at the whole of Namibia, there are only 2 neurosurgeons, maybe 3 now. Understand, Ongwediva Medipark, I think, got a neurosurgeon from South Africa. And these neurosurgeons are South Africans, but they've been practicing in Namibia for a long time. The ones that are here in Windhoek, and they are based at Mediclinic. Mm-hmm. If you look at State Hospital, it does not have a neurosurgeon. So 2 for a population of 2 million. Comes December, if these 2 decide to take holiday, We are stranded. In actual fact, we had a year where we were stranded. And we have given bursaries. There's also a shortage of orthopedic surgeons, the ones that work with the bones. When you're in a crash, mostly you break bones. So in the past years, we've given bursaries for those who are going to specialize. We've given now 4 bursaries in neuro and orthopedic surgery. So the idea is that we invest a lot in these areas as well. So it's not like we're just thinking of doing that. We've started doing that. Fortunately for us, the shortage hasn't been on a long term. Usually during the holidays, there's a problem. There was a year when we tried to bring in a specialist from South Africa just to come and help. He came in, he assisted with a few cases. But the challenge will always come in when this specialist has to go back. Luckily, we haven't really experienced an extended period where the surgeons are not available. It would be like for 1 week or so, and it's actually during the holiday season. But it will be best if we have at least, for starters, 4 or 5
in the country.
And again, that the state facility is covered. Because the way the state facility works is during the holidays, they also they staff that area. I must say that the challenge is not much with the MVA fund. The challenge is with the patient. Sort of the treatment that is limited for the patients. Because when you are involved in trauma, you need assistance immediately. But when that treatment is delayed, it has repercussions in your recovery. A lot of times people are thrown out of their cars. There also we've had incidences of an oncoming object coming into contact with the body. The paramedics will tell you speed. And, there's this theory. I was very impressed when the paramedics were presenting. They said the speed that you're traveling at, once you stop after an impact, your body still continues to travel at that speed, if not double that speed. Even if you are in the car, suppose you're strapped and you're in the car after that impact, your body doesn't stop. It continues to travel, so it continues hitting against every object that's in front of you. And those are the dynamics that we as passengers and drivers don't understand. And we tend to say, how can you say it's speed? How can you? It's more than what the eye can see. What we are saying is, if you are driving that fast, it's not the speed, but it's the rate of reaction. If suddenly an animal crosses the road, if suddenly the other driver's tire bursts and he loses control, would you be able to control your car at that speed that you're driving? And a lot of times, you can't. And that's why we have the head-on collision, and because any error on the part of the other driver or any sudden occurrence, your speed should be enough for you to react.
That was very insightful, Rosalia. Thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you so much, Christine. The pleasure is all mine.